excelsis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimitte nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is Restore Christendom. I am Tom,
And I'm Emily.
and welcome to the show.
Good evening, fine people of Earth. It's
Oh, hey, the Nether Knight is here. Hello, Senior Nether Knight.
good to see you, sir.
Yes, yes.
It's February 12th at 7:18 p.m.
Yes, it's that.
So
It is that.
that's all right. The intro, we did good. We started more on time than usual.
Yes.
So
Yes,
that's
yes.
good. That is good. All right. So this evening, in case you have been paying attention to the new format, if there is a saint on the show day, we will talk about it. But today there is not a saint, but the last 2 days there were. So
So we're going to talk about
we're
it.
going to talk about them.
Well, I guess Saint Bernadette does kind of fall into the Our Lady of Lourdes story, but that's more of an apparition.
Well, yeah. So
It's a holy day.
It's yeah.
It's a feast day, should I say?
Right. Yeah, I guess. Feast day. So yeah, Saint Scholastica was on Monday, and then the feast day of the apparition of Lourdes is was Tuesday, yesterday, and today there isn't anything really going on. So
We just figured we would talk about these couple things.
oh, and then Friday Saint Valentine. Sorry.
Yeah, St. Valentine's coming on Friday. It's another Catholic holy day
Mhm.
that has been turned into a consumer holiday.
Yeah, a secular Hallmark day.
Right. Yeah. Sell greeting cards and whatnot.
Chocolate and diamonds and roses from Colombia.
Yes. Is that where they come from?
That's where a lot of our flowers come from.
Okay.
South America, Colombia.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of them come from South America. I didn't realize Colombia specifically.
They do a specific type of rose.
Okay. All I know is every rose has its thorn.
Oh goodness.
Good evening, JC.
Good evening.
Good to see you again. JC popped in on my review video yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I felt the need to do that, but I did.
I don't know. Every once in a while I feel the need to do that too. But I think that actually doing it is more important because it doesn't take much for somebody to leave a negative.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
they don't sit there and think about, should I do this? Should I not do this? How does this affect that person?
Right.
They don't put that much thought into the negative stuff.
That is the thing though. Like most people don't review anything when they've had a positive experience.
Right.
Most things you hear about things or stuff
Right.
like places,
The food was cold. I'm never coming back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll always hear the complaint from somebody when they had bad service or they went somewhere and it wasn't good. But
Mhm.
when everything's good or above average, it's whatever
really-
it should be.
Yeah, nobody really
Yeah.
talks about it. It's just expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good thing for you to do.
Yeah, and I don't know. People should this day and age, man. $100. You're spending $100 on a pipe that you might that might be junk because you're giving this new company a shot. Like, I've tried it. You know what I mean? Like, buy with confidence.
Don't waste your money.
But yeah, you can go here and buy with confidence and know that like you're gonna get a decent product. You're not wasting your money. So,
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
As I sit here and smoke my new pipe.
As he does that.
So we're gonna start with Lords.
Yeah, we can watch that little video that you found, and then I can.
Yeah, well, this is just a
rattle off some facts.
Yeah, this is just a video of the church they built there in Lourdes, France, where the apparition took place and where the water is. I guess we'll get into what the healing powers of the water and whatnot after we watch this.
Sure.
Let me go to here. Oh. Let's mute. Just mute it. There we go. Oh, yeah, this is the Church and Grotto at Lourdes.
Good evening, Haram. Nice of you to pop in, sir.
Doesn't want to do it.
Oh, your buttons don't want to work?
Yeah, it's something to do with the video. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that on air.
Womp womp.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about the my button problems in front of people.
Okay.
It's personal, okay?
All right, that's fine. We'll keep them to ourselves.
Yeah. I was trying to air our dirty laundry out in public.
Oh, yep. That's
so,
what it is.
What is Our Lady of Lourdes? And honestly, one of the arguments I've heard on Twitter from Catholics is, how could Protestants not believe in Mary's intercessions? How do they explain all these Marian apparitions like Lourdes and Fatima and this and honestly, because they haven't heard of most of them. Your modern day evangelicals have not heard of them.
Oh, probably not.
No, I'd never heard of them as when I was in that, you know what I mean, growing up, learning about church. I wasn't until I was an adult that I heard about Lourdes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And actually started looking into the church. It's weird. But yeah, I would say that most of them are completely unaware of it. That's how they can, believe what they believe.
Yeah. I'm really biting my tongue on this because for the this week in church, the readings are from Genesis, and it's a lot to take in. And then also reading Revelation the other day, just a small little bit that I was having to read for context to explain something else. I really don't understand how people aren't just Catholic.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. And I know that that's
like how you can read the book of Revelations and not see the mass.
Yeah. And it's a me thing. I'm sure it's just a me thing. It's a me thing, and I need to not project that onto other people. These are just things that I'm understanding as an individual that are strengthening the faith that I already have. It's just a me thing. So, but I don't know. I think it is kind of a disservice to like not know about these things, but then also, not that I don't want the evangelicals and the Protestants knowing about it, but like I don't want them to have yet another thing to bash and talk bad about and to be negative about.
I understand. Like the evangelicals are aware of Marian apparitions. They couldn't tell you which ones.
They know about freaking Magigoria.
Yeah,
That's the one that they know about. That's the only one that they care about. That's the only one that they've ever heard about because it's just a freaking Joel seen snake oil sales lady.
Right. But also,
she only shows up this day at this time if X amount of people have paid to be here.
Yeah. But mostly they claim Marian apparitions are demons. And it's like, I don't know of any demons that show up and say, follow Jesus, get closer to my son. You gotta pray and get closer to God, or he's going to chastise you. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't sound like a demon to me.
No,
it doesn't sound
really.
like anything a demon would say.
No, not really.
But what do I know?
I don't know.
I'm not a demon eraser.
Yep, me neither, man.
Speaking of demon erasers, Father Ripperger was on Avoiding Babylon last night, and that was an excellent show.
It was a really good show.
Yeah, if you
There wasn't a whole lot of exorcism talk, but
No.
there was some good.
It was all about Christian masculinity,
Yeah.
or Catholic masculinity, but Christian masculinity.
It was good conversation.
Yeah, it was amazing. I recommend anybody to go watch that. Father Chad Ripperger on Avoiding Babylon. It was really good. You don't have to be Catholic to enjoy that conversation.
And for what it's worth, when they say, "Oh, we're going over to locals," it was literally 11 minutes on locals. It was one question that Anthony could have asked outside of locals, but that's his own decision to make. It's his decision to make. But go watch the episode. You're not missing out on anything behind the locals thing last
Right.
night.
Also, if you listen to it on audio, they don't cut that part out anyway.
That is also
So you can hear the
something
whole
to
thing
consider.
without having to go to their locals.
Right. You could just listen to it. You wouldn't have to watch them
Right. Yeah.
if that's not your jam.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the apparitions in Lourdes, they started in 1858. Bernadette, very difficult to pronounce last name that I do not want to butcher. She was 14 at the time. Her and her sister and her cousin, they were all told to go gather firewood. They were doing so. Bernadette had asthma because she got cholera when she was younger. And so she's, taking a break, and she sees a lady standing in a little cutout in the side of a cliff. And she's like, well, that's odd. And she was in the middle of praying her rosary. My bad. I should have started there. She was taking the break because she has asthma. She's sitting there. She's, well, what else am I supposed to do? Let me just pray my rosary. She's praying the rosary. She looks up. She sees the lady in the little cutout of the cliff face. She continues to pray the rosary. As soon as she's done, the lady leaves. And then shortly thereafter, her sister and her cousin show up. And they didn't see the lady. Obviously, they weren't there. But she tells her sister and her cousin what happened, and then they decide, like, we definitely shouldn't tell anybody about this. We should just keep this to ourselves. The cousin can't keep her mouth shut, says crazy thing to Bernadette's mother when they get back. The two girls, the sisters, are like, well, kind of, maybe that did happen. We don't know. And so the three of them get beat for lying. Starting act. And then, so she gets beat for lying. Bernadette does, and then she's grounded for a couple of days. She goes back on February 14th with her cousin and her sister, and the three of them are praying the rosary. And then they see the lady reappears. Bernadette is the only one to see her. The other two don't, but they had brought holy water with them, so they fling holy water at the lady and say, if you're, not of God, if you're not from Jesus, go, be gone. And the lady kind of smiles and just stands there. So the girls, take that as a sign. Okay, well, she's obviously not demonic. So the holy water worked. So they finish the rosary, they go back home. And then they come back on February 18th. There's a couple of people in town who have heard stories of what's going on, and they think it's their friend who had passed away, like the spirit trying to come and communicate. So they have left at the grotto an inkwell, a pen, and a thing of paper for Bernadette to try to get the lady to write something down, like just tell us anything. So she goes back and she's praying, and the lady speaks to her and she says, would you have the goodness to come here for 15 days and pray with me? And so, Bernadette's like, sure, I think I can do that. Why not? So she comes back on the 19th in early morning hours because she's got other things to do throughout the day, but she wants to keep this commitment. So she's walking to the grotto with a candle, and her mom and her aunt are with her. And about 6 other people, the 2 people who thought it was their dead friend and some other people, right? So it's about 8 of them headed towards the grotto to go pray. And this is where the the tradition begins of taking, or of the procession, the candlelit procession to Lourdes and leaving candles at the at Lourdes,
At the grotto.
right at the grotto. That's where it starts. Is the first day of the 15 that Our Lady had asked her to come pray. So on the 20th, there's like 30 people present. They all have candles. They're all going and praying now. And Our Lady gives her a prayer that she is to keep to herself and pray it daily. And people of the 30 people that are there, they begin to like murmur and think like this might be the Virgin Mary. So it's February 21st, over 100 people are present. And she tells Bernadette, "You will pray to God for sinners." So she tells the people, the lady has said that we are to pray to God for sinners. And I didn't write down his name, but I guess I could look at it real quick if I wanted to, but I don't really care. Some turd who was Roman and ran that area, not necessarily Roman, whatever, ran the area, imprisons her or takes her in for questioning, basically. Like, what are you doing here, lady? You're getting all these people riled up. Lady, you're 14. Young lady, you're getting all these people riled up. You're telling them this lady is telling you to pray, and this is you got to stop this. This is enough. So her father, reasons with him and says, you're absolutely right. This is enough. She will stop. This won't happen against her. So she's, kept at home for a few days. On the 23rd, she goes back, and there's like 150 people there. And that day, the lady tells her a secret, which is for her alone. She ends up taking it to her deathbed. She never tells anybody the secret that she was told on the 23rd. On the 24th, there's about 250 people there. And Our Lady, the message from Our Lady that day was penance, penance, penance. Pray for God, or pray to God for sinners. Kiss the ground as an act of penance for sinners. And then on the 25th, Bernadette is told to go drink and wash herself in the fountain. And the lady just kind of like, Our Lady points in a general area. And the only thing over in that general area is like a rock and a puddle, like a muddy puddle. So she's like, this is the one. And Our Lady's just standing there smiling at her. So she washes herself in the muddy water, and, tries to like get some cleanish water she can drink. And after like 3 or 4 times of getting this little spring to spit out some water, on the 4th time, she's able to like drink it. So she goes back covered in mud because she just cleaned herself. And she's again brought in for questioning. And her parents are basically told, keep this kid under control. This is the last warning. So she's kept home for like a day. And then on the 27th, she's able to go back. There's about 800 people there. On the 28th, over 1,000 people are there. And she was brought in for questioning again. March 1st, 1858, 1,500 people are present. In the people that are present, there is a pregnant woman. She does have a couple other kids. It was said that this is her 3rd pregnancy. And she had a ulnar nerve injury where she lost usage of like 2 fingers on one hand. And she submerged her arm in the stream and was healed, but also went immediately into labor. So in delivery of her child, she's explaining to the physician, like, I was just at Lourdes and I put my hand in the stream, and then here we are. So the doctor then begins, that particular doctor begins to take note of any of the healings that come from the stream at Lourdes. March 2nd, Bernadette's given a message, go tell the priests to come here in procession and to build a chapel here. With her 2 aunts, she obeyed. She went to Father Paramale, and he says, cool story, sis. stop going to the grotto. You're forbidden to go back to the grotto. Give it up. So then she, on the 3rd, she goes back to him and she's like, Father, please just let me return. And he ends up conceding and allows her to return. But he's like, I'm not doing this procession without her name. If she can't bother to give us her name, why should we show up? So she goes back, and on the March 4th, 1858, over 9,000 people are there praying and awaiting instruction. And this continues. The next thing that's a date that we're given is March 25th, 1858. After all of this time, all the praying, all the everything that's been going on, she's asking the lady for her name. Can I have your name? What's your name? They'll give you the procession if we know your name. And she responds to her, I am the Immaculate Conception. And she's like, I am the Immaculate Conception. She has no idea what these words are. For lack of a better term, she's dumb. She's a simple girl of her time. And she's just like, I am the Immaculate Conception. Okay. And so she just repeats it to herself the whole way back to Father Paramale. And he's like, or she says to him, I have a name for you. I am the Immaculate Conception. And he's like, in no way. But all right, if you say so. So he gets a hold of, he contacts the bishop, travels to the bishop, and the bishop says, stay away from the grotto. Give it up. Don't worry about it. Pay no mind. Forbid people to go there. So that's how that situation settles in March. Is the bishop says, "Meh, cool. Immaculate Conception at the grotto. Don't care. And April 7th, the doctor who delivered the baby from the lady with the ulnar nerve issue, he's at the grotto observing, as he had been doing, and he is watching Bernadette pray, and she has her candle, and she has her rosary, and she's praying, and at some point, the flame of the candle, like, burns her hand, or he observes her hand being over the flame for such a period of time that it should have been burned, or she should have at least reacted to the heat or something, and she didn't. So when she was finished praying, he approached her and basically like puts her hand immediately over the candle, and she's like, "Oh, that's hot. What are you doing? That was rude." And he's like, "Well,
Just like that.
I mean,
That was rude.
yeah, that's how it was written. That's how the scribes wrote it down."
Okay.
Uh, but he's like, "Well, I was just checking something because you just sat here for like 10 minutes completely unbothered while your hand was being licked by the flames of this candle. And I was just wondering if you could feel anything in this hand here." So that's reported. The doctor takes his, observations to the priest, and then they go back to the bishop, and they're like, "Hey, we should probably do something about this." But while they're doing that, in June 8th of 1865, the mayor of Lourdes barricades the grotto and has stations guards.
Guards.
And they are to remove people who try to gather at the grotto, and they are to fine anyone for kneeling at the grotto and praying, or anyone speaking about the grotto.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds perfectly normal.
Right, yeah. So fast forward to July 16th, Bernadette heads back to the barricaded grotto. I'm sure she had done this entire time. And she began to pray. She was at the banks of the river, is what it says, on the other side of the barricade, and she's praying, and she sees Our Lady, and that's the last apparition of Our Lady that we have, is July 16th, 1858. And then in October of 1858, the grotto is open to the public again, but at that time, Bernadette is already on holy orders somewhere else.
All right.
So
that is far more in depth than anything I could say about it.
Yeah, I figured.
It's a little slightly different too, but for the most part.
Oh, okay.
So my understanding was that the first time she saw what are you laughing at?
I'm reading.
Oh yeah, the
Eric's
realistic,
comments,
yes.
Yeah.
So the first time she saw Our Lady was she was with her two cousins
Mm-hmm.
and they were going to cross a stream,
Yeah.
but she didn't want to get her stockings wet. So she's like them two went across, she went to look for another place to cross. And that's when there was like a wind and she saw like a rose and then noticed Our Lady. So that's that's what I've heard. I know there's a couple different versions of the story as with everything.
Yeah, so this is more of a factual.
Yeah.
Here's what we know. The one of the little, I don't know, they were like 45-minute long. I watched like 2 or 3 of them today, or listened to like 2 or 3 of them. Different retellings of it, and in the 3 that I listened to, all 3 were different, but like the core facts didn't change. One of them, it wasn't just the name that that father wanted. He wanted the flower, the rose bush beneath
Right.
the thing that she's supposedly appeared in to begin to bloom. And with it being like early in the season, that would be it would be a sign that yes, this is Our Lady, or she is, someone of power. But yeah, there's slight differences in
Yes.
each retelling of it, I've heard.
But yeah, and then it always, yes, at the end she says, "I am the Immaculate Conception."
Yeah.
Which, just a few years before that, the Pope declared the dogma of the Immaculate Conception.
Yeah.
Which is, back in these days, 1800, we are 1850s now, and we're just like, oh, that was not long ago. You know what I mean? You don't realize that the world pre-telephone, like 1930s, 40s, really, like
information took years.
Like nobody knows that the Pope declared this. You know what I mean? It's just something that he declares at the time, writes a paper, and it gets filed away at the Vatican. A couple, the bishops kind of know. At least I'm assuming. I don't know this for a fact, but I do know back in those days, information traveled a whole lot slower.
I mean, we got Juneteenth for a reason, don't we?
Yeah. It took 3 years for the word to get down
news to make it down to Galveston that the war was over and that black people were free.
Right.
So like, that's kind of the only proof I need for like how slow information moved or how important it was to have a network of communication between places.
Yeah.
Or how valuable that would have been.
Yeah, exactly. So, some people will go, oh, this was just made up to reinforce the Pope's decree of Immaculate Conception. But
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, you can't fake the miracles, but you know what I mean? Like there's doctors. It's because that's the great thing about a lot of these Catholic apparitions and miracles is these are confirmed by non-Catholic doctors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? These are legitimate people wanting to like, whoa, I'm a doctor. This isn't possible. Let me look into this.
Mm-hmm.
And the Catholic Church is always more than willing. Yes, please look into this. Look into this for us. Because if it's not real, we want to know too.
Right. Yeah, because then we're not going to put time and energy into this.
Right. We don't want to spread this false thing. It's so I don't know. There's lots of eyewitnesses and doctors' reports and things like that. So I don't give a whole lot of weight to that. Oh, this is made up to reinforce the Pope's declare of the Immaculate Conception 4 years prior or whatever. And it's like, man, in 4 years, these people hadn't even heard that yet.
Yeah.
So
number one, I don't think it would be, and I guess it takes like 3 or 4 thoughts to get to the idea of, oh, it's just completely made up.
Right.
Because it could be completely made up. It could be Bernadette could be making all of this up on her own, right? Like this could just be some harebrained fever dream of a 14-year-old. But the fact that on day 1, your mom whoops your ass because she thinks you're lying, right? Day 1, I'd been like, I ain't seen nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then also by day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, by day 5, we're brought in for questioning by the local lawman and thrown in a cell and treated like a criminal at 14 years old. Nah, that whatever I thought I saw, I didn't see.
Subliminal. I don't even know. I gotta go back. Where did this even come from? Is Tom in the range of 5'2"? If not, my entire perspective, y'all's complete. You know, I'm 5'7".
Yeah, he's 5'7".
We're sitting in chairs, so like very adjustable chairs. So you really can't tell our height based off of how we have our chair set.
Yeah, that's true. I'm short. I'm 5'2.5"
Yeah.
on a good day if I stand up straight.
So I think it's just our chairs are set at different heights. It makes our heights look weird.
And I also have better posture than he does.
Yes, there's that too. I slouch.
Mostly that. Lumbar support. What's that?
I'm a man who
Straight
works
back.
hard to provide for a family.
No, hey, I'm not.
I can
knocking it.
slouch if I want to slouch.
You do whatever you want to do.
Disobedient woman. Wait till we get off this air.
Okay. Why wait till then?
You're right.
You turd.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
What's next on the agenda? Oh, actually, before we do that, I just wanted to go one more post here. Just in case anybody's interested, there is a movie.
I think we might. I don't know. It's a big commitment. It's over 2.5 hours. If the chat would like to, we could do a morning crew watch party. I would not be opposed.
Yeah, The Song of Bernadette was a movie in 1943. I hear it's good. I have not seen it. But one of Saint Bernadette's quotes, why must we suffer? Because here below, pure love cannot exist without suffering. Saint Bernadette, pray for us.
She only lived to be 35 years old.
Yeah.
She died young.
Do we know why? I'm not familiar with what she died of.
I don't remember.
Okay, that's fine.
Probably something stemming from.
We don't have to know everything.
Probably something stemming from the cholera, if I had to guess.
The choleras?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea. I barely looked into Saint Bernadette because I did not want to fall in a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I was there for Lourdes, and that was.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Saint Bernadette is Saint Bernadette because of Lourdes, but also
she has her own day in April.
Yes.
Or March or whatever.
Yeah, that's a whole different story from Lourdes. Also, she's done other things throughout her life.
Yeah, she ended up being a nun.
Yes. Imagine that you had a Marian apparition as a child, and you turned out to be a nun later in life. Who'd have thunk it? Weird.
Okay, so the other saint we're going to talk about was Monday, February 10th, is Saint Scholastica, which is the twin sister of Saint Benedict.
Yes, and that's as much as I really know about Saint Scholastica. I'm not well versed on Saint Scholastica.
Well, good news.
I did know that that's Saint Benedict's twin sister, and Saint Benedict's my homie. So what's up with his?
What's up with his sister, though?
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't feel bad. There's not a whole lot about Saint Scholastica. It's just mostly the bit where she starts the Benedictine sisters, the Benedictine nuns. She's the first one of them. Their abbot was like it was like 5 miles from the Benedictine monastery. So her brother's running his monastery. She's running the women's order. And on their birthdays, they would get together and spend the day chatting, praying, figuring out what they need to do over the next year for, everything. And when evening came, she was trying to convince her brother to stay the night, have dinner, have tea, hang out with me. I feel like I'm getting old and I'm going to die soon. I really don't want you to leave. And he's like, you know the rules. We can't be outside of the monastery overnight. It's not that I didn't think the rules and write them down, but I don't make the rules. I just have to follow them. So she decides that she's going to pray that she can spend more time with her brother. And wouldn't you know it, a severe thunderstorm happens, and he's not able to leave. It's raining cats and dogs.
Oh, no.
And he looks at his sister and he says, "Dear sister, God forgive you. What have you done?" And she says, "I asked a favor of you, and you denied me. I asked God, and he granted it." And so they spent that evening together. She sent him off with breakfast, and he did the 5-mile trek back to his monastery. And 3 days later, he's in prayer and he receives a vision of his sister's soul ascending into heaven as a white dove. He announces her death to the monastery. They go and retrieve her body from the women's place, the abbot, and she's placed in the tomb that he had built for himself. And he ends up being put in there too whenever he dies. Oh, shortly thereafter. But yeah, so Saint Scholastica was the first Benedictine nun. Also founded the order, and she is the patron saint of cloistered nuns.
Okay. What are cloistered nuns?
They're the ones who live in the abbot and don't have anything.
Okay.
They don't have anything and they don't leave.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Right?
That sounds right to me.
I think so. I think that is.
Yeah, no personal possessions. I think they're allowed to like leave the grounds occasionally. Like I don't think they're forced.
I don't think so. I think that all your cloistered visitations happen in like a lobby.
Okay.
From Sister Angelica, if I'm thinking.
Okay. I thought they were allowed off the
A
grounds.
cloistered nun is a woman who chooses to live in a monastery separated from the outside world to focus on prayer and intimacy with God. Cloistered nuns take vows of poverty, chastity, obedience, and enclosure. The purpose of enclosure is to create an atmosphere of silence and prevent distractions from prayer and religious life. Cloistered nuns speak only as needed to complete tasks, except during a recreation period each evening. During visits, nuns and family members are separated by a metal grill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Cloistered nuns believe their vocation is to serve as a reminder of the contemplative dimension of life and to intervene for others before God.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cloistered nuns.
It could probably do some ladies today some good. I couldn't think of any off the top of my head, but
No? Yeah, you can't think of any off the top of your head that would benefit from being a cloistered nun? Not a one?
I mean, send my kid.
Like, how about all of females in society these days?
Not that I like want to never be able to hug her again, but like if it was send her to live a cloistered life or subject her to the world,
Mm-hmm. Cloistered life.
I'll give up a hug.
Yeah. She'd be better off. She'd be happier at the end of the day.
I'll give up hugs.
Everything in this world that is supposed to bring you happiness does the opposite.
The exact opposite.
The exact opposite. It just brings stress.
Stress and worry and anxiety and loss of time.
Yeah.
And stress and worry.
Yeah.
It's all, the root of it all is stress.
Right. Well, the root of all the stress is money.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to have the things and do the stuff, you got to pay the money for it. And
right. Yeah, and to do that, you got to work and
sell your soul.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
I make it sound much worse than it is, but the difference between living a normal life and constantly having to pay the bills and make the money and stress about, am I going to have enough? Do I have enough? How much do I have to put away? Do I have enough put away? You know what I mean? I really want to go do this thing, but that costs this much money. And do I want to part with this much money for that? Can I afford to part with this much money for that?
Yeah.
It's just life in general. That's what it is. Or you live as a cloistered nun and you have none of those worries.
None of them.
You get fed 3 meals a day. You pray. You get close to God. Like, I don't see the downside.
Sounds pretty sweet to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm down.
Okay. So it's Saint Scholastica.
Okay. And then you're going to do St. Valentine?
Yeah, St. Valentine. February 14th.
Wait. Same day as Valentine's Day?
Yeah. Same day as Valentine's Day.
Same day as Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So did he make heart-shaped chocolates? Is that why he's...
No, actually, he didn't do that.
Oh, is he a gardener? Is he like the patron saint of roses?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay. Teddy bears. Yeah, something to do with teddy bears.
Nope. Bees. He's a patron saint of beekeepers.
Don't they have those new Valentine's Day underwear gift subscription days? He have something to do with underwear?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think they had undergarments back in the day.
Okay.
There's a lot of girding of loins. I don't think they'd have done that if they had Hanes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what Valentine's Day has to do with St. Valentine.
Okay.
And it seems like nothing because the man didn't make chocolate hearts or candy hearts or flowers.
He was a diamond miner.
Was he? He was a diamond miner. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's known for.
Yep.
Okay. So what was the only thing I have on him is that the date of his death, not the only thing, but as far as like timeline goes, is 269 AD. So I don't know at what point any of this stuff happened. I just know for sure that he died February 14th, 269. It's in the Roman martyr book, Martyrology, I think is what it's called. I don't remember.
Martyrology, yes.
Yeah. So in most of the lives of the saints back in the day, they were kind of like John the Baptist in the sense of they're constantly doing something to get thrown in jail.
Mm-hmm.
They're constantly doing something to upset the powers that be.
Well, talking about Jesus in general was what got you thrown in jail and upset the powers that be.
Yeah.
So it wasn't very hard. They didn't have to try super hard.
No. No, they didn't really. So he was arrested for converting people to Christianity, and he was charged with bringing undue persecution on citizens, which I think that's a pretty fancy charge for people of that time.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't actually do anything wrong. What you did is going to make their lives harder. So shame on you for doing that. That's an interesting way to word something.
Yeah.
So he was jailed for that, and then he was released, and then he got jailed again.
How dare you make me do my job?
For performing marriages of the people that he had converted.
So wait, he can't marry these people after he converts them?
Well, he can convert them, but then he's going to get in trouble for that. But then he marries them, so now he's in trouble again because he's perpetuating this persecution, undue persecution of citizens.
Okay.
And so then he's sent to jail again, and then he ends up in the presence of a judge, and this judge basically puts him on the spot and says, sure, your Jesus is real. Okay, sure. Well, joke's on you. I have a blind daughter, and unless you cure her blindness, he is about to die. So, as luck would have it, he is able to cure her blindness, and this judge decides, wow, what do I got to do to be Christian? What do I got to do? So he breaks all the idols in his home. He gets baptized, has his 44-person household baptized, which means his family and then his servants, like everyone in his household was baptized and converted. What was the thing? Oh, and then the last thing that he did was he freed all the Christians that he had jailed. So anyone that he had convicted guilty, go to jail for being a Christian, you're released now. And what was his name? Claudius Gothicus, or Claudius II, he heard about this judge situation. He's like the judge's boss or whatever, and he sends for St. Valentine. And St. Valentine is brought in, and he's forced to explain, all I did was heal the blind child. That's kind of all I did. And I told these people about Jesus, and I married some people. Not really that big a deal. And so him and this Claudius guy are, I guess, having discussions over a period of a few days. And Claudius begins to think that St. Valentine is going to try to convert him.
Against his will.
Yeah, so he's about to be converted against his will.
Because that's how God does it.
That's how it's happened.
So it's like a knife point.
Right.
You'll convert right now.
Well, that's the thing, is Claudius is starting to be like, dang, maybe there is something to this.
Right.
I don't like these feelings. So Claudius II is actually the one who ends up having St. Valentine killed.
Okay.
There's no clear description of how he is killed. It just says that he is killed. There is one telling where he is beaten to death and beheaded, and then there's a telling where he's lit aflame, And then there's a telling where he's just regular old crucified.
Hmm.
So, but either way, his death is recorded as February 14th, 269.
And that is why we buy teddy bears and chocolates and roses.
Yep. And that's why you have to send a Valentine for every single one of your kids' public school classmates.
Yeah, that's another reason you should homeschool people.
That's the reason why they're having Valentine's parties and sending your kids home all sugared up with red dye 40 and those.
Well, not our kid, but your kids.
Well, yeah, not my kid.
Right.
But yeah. Yeah, so let's say Valentine.
Sweet.
That's the reason for Valentine's Day. That's why it's on February 14th.
And it was another Catholic holy day that got turned into a commercial holiday, just like we've already discussed. Candlemas was turned into Groundhog Day.
I don't know if you guys have picked up on the theme of this year, but we're about to learn that all the holiday bullshit in America
Oh, and then
is trash.
Martin Luther King Day was which one?
I don't remember. I'll go look at the calendar.
Yeah. Oh, good. That one's still set to January because I'm a lazy piece of shit.
That wasn't the second.
It was it was at least the third. Okay, yeah, Saint Sebastian. Yeah, okay. Thought there was something else. Anyway, President's Day is another one. I'm pretty sure Juneteenth is a Catholic holiday somehow.
There was a black saint of the day the other day.
What?
Yeah.
Who?
What was it?
Not saying that there's no black saints. I'm just curious who.
She was kidnapped from Sudan. I remember that much.
Dude, this pipe has got to have the largest bowl ever on it. Like, I thought I smoked half this pipe before we even went on. And it's still like...
I would say you smoked about half of it.
I would too, but apparently I didn't because, like...
Not the case.
That's...
Oh, wow.
That's way down there and there's still tobacco in there. Like, oh. All right. Apparently I put like a half an ounce in here.
Well, it'd be like that, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good thing. It's a tobacco pipe.
Right.
Where I'm scrolling trying to find the black saint.
Okay.
Don't mind me.
Well, it doesn't matter, honestly. Let's see. What can we cover that's kind of short here?
Man, I post a bunch of Catholic stuff.
What's that?
I said, man, I post a bunch of Catholic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all we ever seem to do anymore.
Well, that's all right.
You know. It's,
what am I supposed to do when I go to church every day?
Right.
Also, if you are a Catholic and you don't go to church every day and your reason isn't that I'm already at work, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Here's a good post from Imperator. I too enjoy this about the Twitters. This is one of the very entertaining things to do. Let's here we go. As a Catholic, one of the most entertaining experiences on X is watching Protestant Christians, and by Protestants we all mean evangelicals, but we'll call them Protestants. Why not?
Yeah.
Protestant Christians post the most heretical content, then watching other Protestant Christians, whom I agree with, getting offended and trying to correct them. I hope you're all discovering in real time the effects of rejecting sacred tradition. You have no authority to correct what you know in your heart and mind to be objectively wrong, because each man and woman is their own authority. And in making everyone their own authority, there is no authority. There is no correct interpretation. There's no incorrect interpretation. Everyone is right. Everyone is wrong. Protestantism devours itself. It breeds moral relativism, religious indifference, and ultimately spiritual nihilism. And that was my experience with it.
Solid.
Yeah, that was my experience to a T. Was just like when you make religion or Christianity so dumbed down to the point where all you have to do is believe God exists and you're saved. It doesn't take very long for you living like that to just convince yourself God doesn't exist or believe that he doesn't, or at least live like he doesn't.
Yeah. Like
when your only connection to God is, well, I believe he's real. Sure. Do I really? I don't know. But like,
I believe the president's real.
Yeah, but that's that version of modern day American evangelicalism Christianity is just if you believe God's real, you're saved. That's all you have to do is believe God's real.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, there's a whole lot more to it than that.
That is accurate.
Yes, that is accurate.
I was able to find.
Oh, did you send me
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you love Groundhog's Day, JC. You can still love Groundhog's Day. You don't have to hate it. You just, now you know that it was Candlemas, but then the Americas were like, Punxsutawney Phil sounds better.
Right. Yeah. So, anyway, that was my weekly bash on evangelicals, for them being stupid.
Okay.
And if you believe in that type of Christianity, please stop. It is not good enough to just believe.
Cease.
Yeah. It's not good enough to just like, yeah, there's a God. That's not it.
Okay. Satan believes that too.
Right. Exactly. Satan believes that God exists also. Does that mean he's going to heaven?
Probably not.
No, I'm going to say no.
I had to guess.
Yeah.
Not immediately.
Yeah. Okay. So let's, this is your saint.
Yeah. Saint Josephine Bakita.
Okay.
There's like 3 posts I sent.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, Saint Josephine Bakita was sold into slavery as a child in the Sudan and came to know God through the Canossian Daughters of Charity, whom she would later join. She is renowned for her faith and hope in God's long providence, despite having suffered cruelty from others. They have a statue of her in Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay.
They have her
Yeah, I
at
see that.
she now has a home in Sacred Heart of Jesus Catholic Church in the Diocese of Baton Rouge. And then there's one other one. Be good, love the Lord, pray for those who do not know him. What a grace it is to know God.
Yes, subliminal groundhogs are from the devil. And more people need to realize this.
Pigs from the ground.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
And that's really kind of the point of this show that we do is that groundhogs are from the devil.
Right.
If you take one thing away from us every week, it should be that. So, thank you all for tuning in just to get that one piece of information kind of rammed down your throat every day.
It's the pigs from the ground part that just send me over the edge here. Because I'm like, at first, that just seems like a silly, flippant statement.
Right.
But then we get deeper into the etymology of the words, and it is pigs from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness.
Coincidence? I think not. No. No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little.
Not even a smidge. So.
Oh goodness. And Saint Bakita's saint day is February 8th, by the way. That's why I did not mention her. It had nothing to do with her melanin concentration.
Right.
Good luck, Bobby Ballbacks.
Yes.
Best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you.
God bless you on the travels. I don't know what you're doing, but
right.
Good luck.
So one last thing I want to talk about a little bit is I think I'm going to start doing a Tuesday show. Emily has her Monday and Friday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to doing a Tuesday evening show based around men,
okay.
or at least masculinity in the Christian faith.
Okay.
Probably have something to do with pipes and cigars and the Bible and God knows what else.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what that's going to look like and what kind of content it's going to be, but keep an eye out for that in the future. Let me know if you think that's a good idea.
I don't know what I'm going to do during that time. I'm probably going to listen to MMO.
Yeah. No, it's not going to be reviews, JC, unless that's what you want to hear.
I guess he could start reviewing things we have.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think it's gonna be more reviews. I think it's just gonna be more just guy talk. I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably talk about pipes and different types of tobaccos and cigars, and probably do quite a bit of readings from the old Bible in that one, and maybe discuss passages. I don't know. Like I said,
And that one, have you explained that to them before?
this.
Yeah.
So this is my New Testament and Psalms.
Yep.
So yes, and so I'd be reading from stuff from this and honestly, mostly so when I'm smoking a pipe, and this may be a topic on the show. When I'm smoking a pipe, I enjoy reading the Psalms.
Mm-hmm.
I find that when smoking a pipe and reading, you're much more into what you're reading. You're contemplating it more. You're pondering things. You're reading much slower. You're reading a verse at a time. You're digesting it. You're in no rush to do anything when you're smoking a pipe. So you're just kind of taking in a verse or two and really just pondering what's going on right there. So yeah, I honestly, I think all Catholics, I think all Christians should smoke a pipe and read the Bible.
Yeah.
Just to be honest. Hard our dads.
Not a bad idea, JC.
No, I guess it depends on which channel I put it on. If I put it on this channel or if I put it on the old Nephilim Murder Crew channel, I guess that would decide if it's hard our dads or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I'm still working on. It's still in my head. But yeah, as I put something together, look for something coming out. We'll give you a warning in advance. But just heads up.
Bye, Bobby.
In case anybody would be interested. So yes, bye, Bobby. Have a blessed night. And I think we're gonna end on this.
Okay, yeah.
It seems like a natural ending point.
Sure.
So thank you everybody for watching. Emily will be back on Friday.
On Friday, yeah. If you guys want to watch that Bernadette song, let me know. We can do that. Otherwise, I have other stuff we can watch.
Yeah, so Emily will be on the Morning Crew channel on Friday morning, and we will both be back on Sunday night for your regularly scheduled programming.
Yes.
Until next time, God bless everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you later.
God bless you guys.
Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimitimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos